Hotel 1 to all heart call signs.
They're Britain's toughest medics.
Have you got any movement in your legs?
Just get me out!
We will be the people that are going in the direction of where something went bang when other people are going in the opposite direction.
He is armed at the moment with a knife.
The NHS's Hazardous Area Response Teams, HART for short, are trained to tackle the most critical cases in the most dangerous places.
This is moving, this.
Let's come out of there.
Could be someone in water, at height, underground, overcome by gas. Whatever it is, our team are there to access them and treat them in those environments.
Created after the 7/7 bombings, they're in the front line when terrorists strike.
There's always that risk of this could go wrong, and it could go wrong quickly.
It's been confirmed that it is a nail bomb.
Specially selected.
Have you seen how high up it is?
It's fallen from around 20 foot.
Prepared for anything.
She's currently trapped in the car by her legs.
Massive intrusion into his cab.
Never filmed before.
Shotgun injuries to his leg.
Go on, you have to blast me.
It's a job that calls for courage and skill.
We have got specialist kit, we have got specialist vehicles. People coming in from other agencies and they think it's like a scene out of Thunderbirds.
Hold it!
OK, we need him on a board in a minute, out of collar.
Real-life heroes, risking their lives to save others.
This is going to be a major incident.
"9,000 passenger flights a day enter the skies over the UK. 6 planes a minute, along with hundreds more smaller aircraft. Flying is now the safest form of transport. But today, the HART team are at an exercise preparing them to deal with an air crash.
We've got a track patient over there who's got a bilateral female fractures and there's a chest wound as well, so he's taken out. He's in the back.
In North Yorkshire, all the emergency services are being tested.
Moggy, 2 separate cars, 2 patients. Could you and James both go to 1 each? The scenario we're dealing with is 2 aircraft have collided. One's come down to the ground and has landed on 2 vehicles. A lot of casualties over quite a large area, so we're just trying to get a grip on what's happening at the moment.
It's as realistic as they can make it. A Coast Guard helicopter will airlift the simulated casualties.
Headrest out, and then we the chair back.
Hotel 1 to Ops Commander. Just an update from scene. We've got 2 P1 patients, both requiring air evacuation.
It's more than 20 years since an airliner crashed in Yorkshire, but accidents involving smaller planes are more common.
As we triage patients, it's either a P, so priority 1, 2, 3, or a deceased. When the next person comes to, if it's not me, knows that it's priority, and generally the P1s are taken out first.
This sort of incident is really traumatic to first responders.
Yeah, ETA to Northern General will be 40 minutes approximately by air.
You're imagining what you would see in a film scenario, you know, on TV, in real life, with real people screaming at you, with real people that need help. And it's about steeling yourself when you arrive on scene to be the best you can be at that time.
And it's not long before the team has put their training into practice.
"999 mode activated."
It's just after nightfall, and Charlie team are mobile to rural East Yorkshire.
All call signs, Hotel 1. Definitely aircraft has come down a mile to a mile and a half from the airfield. Trying to get an exact location so that we can go directly to scene. 2 people on board.
Hello, Criminal Advisor. We are between a lot of blue lights and doubling control towers. Nothing seen.
So they know it's down, they don't know where it is.
She reckons 172, Cessna 172.
Roger, so it's actually a fixed winger that we're looking for. Over.
Hotel 1 or HART call signs, just an update. Aircraft still not found. We have 3 assets in the air currently looking. We've been instructed to go directly to the airfield.
The missing plane was on a flight from the Scottish borders to a grass airfield near Beverley.
All ambulance assets are now at the airfield. There's a fire bobby in the office, so I'm going to go and tip my hat to him and just see what they say from there.
Team leader Dave is heading into the flying club. The Coast Guard helicopter is using its heat-seeking cameras to scan the approach to the runway. A friend of the pilot raised the alarm.
Are they giving you where they're searching?
Well, I've asked them, I've given them my estimation of where I saw the lights disappear.
Okay.
Right, which was on a heading of about 310 from the end of the runway.
The Cessna was trying to land. The pilot and a passenger were on board.
Can you consider that he was on his approach from the west when you lost contact with him?
I was at the end, at the 1-2 end of the runway, and from my position, he looked to be about 5 to 10 degrees north of the runway centre line. It must have been the other side of the river when the lights disappeared downwards.
The gentleman who got here said he'd circled around, and then as he was coming back in, he could see from here his headlights and landing lights. You know, it could have been there, it could have been further back.
Yeah.
His phone's still live, it's just been ringing.
Right,
track it.
We've got the police on to looking at that.
Well, that's Humberside, they're saying his last trace was 1.5 miles northwest, 200 foot.
1.5 miles northwest, 200 foot. Oh, he's got the 200.
The police are trying to trace the pilot's phone, but there's a problem.
What would happen is that the phone, if it's still active, would ping off a mast, and that mast could be at Bridlington, and all it's going to give us is a direction of travel around a huge search area, probably no better than we've got already.
They've checked their radar trace, and he disappeared at 200 feet, 1.5 miles to the northwest of the airfield, which is where I said he was.
Yeah, which is where you've said.
And that's what they say. So they've confirmed the same area.
The new radar trace should lead search teams straight to the wreckage. But the plane has vanished in a very remote area, covering a major reservoir and numerous isolated farms. This could be a long night for the team.
Roger, thank you.
Rain makes the roads more dangerous. Braking distances are drastically increased and the accident rate goes up. Daz and the rest of Bravo team have been called to a crash in Bradford. It's a full emergency response. 2 cars have collided at high speed at a junction. Daz quickly gets up to speed on scene.
It looks like Daz have had proper receipt damage here front.
How you feeling, folks? Obviously you've got up and walked away. Remember everything that happened?
I was only going to my to go pick up a uniform for work tomorrow.
Right. She's got a dressing gown and she's getting wet through. Yeah, we can have a sit down.
The patients from the first car appear to be unharmed, but as a precaution, Daz wants them to be monitored in the ambulance. The man in the second car is not so fortunate.
Mohammed, can you feel me touching, yeah? Yeah. OK, can you move your legs? Okay, squiggle your toes. Chris, should we get a collar on him, yeah? Yeah.
In the wreck of his car, Mohammed Afzal had been unconscious for some time. It's feared he has serious injuries. The heart team are trying to treat him, but space is tight.
They've moved that other vehicle out of the way, which made access on that side quite difficult. Obviously, most of that are deployed in there with the patient and have had patient contact fairly quickly. Fire service are obviously starting their cutting operations, and it looks like they're going to start and dismantle it so we can get better access to extricate the patient.
Mohammed, this is going to go tight round your neck. Keep your head still. We're going slow at the minute, but once we get ready, you'll be out. So where's your worst pain right now?
Head.
Your head. OK.
Paul's sort of dealing with patient. Chris is stabilising him. So we're obviously trying to protect him from flying glass and bits of metal and trying to protect Paul so he can get his examination done. Yep. Go on, Andy.
Mohammed's body has absorbed the full impact of the high-speed crash. Medics suspect he has serious head and spinal injuries. They need to get him out fast.
We are going to start doing some cuts around you now, so it's going to get a bit noisy.
When they manage to cut through the metal, it makes loud bangs, so we have to reassure the patient all the time, tell him what's happening, and just try and protect him, try and reassure as best we can. He's not physically trapped. What's stopping us getting out is that he's got pain around his kneecaps, he's got pain all the way down his back, his left rib cage. So we're going to take the roof off and that'll allow us to get him out of the car in a really controlled manner and protect any injuries and not make them any worse.
The team must manoeuvre Mohammed onto a rigid stretcher, but with a possible back injury, any movement risks damaging the delicate spinal cord.
We'll keep him here, get boarding. She's going. Right, Mohammed? Daz, when he starts to come back, will you take his head off me?
Yeah.
Feeling cold. Keep going, pal.
Just going to start lowering you backwards, matey. I've got you. Just relax. Ready, steady, move.
Nice and still there, Mohammed, nice and still. Sit happy, let's just go straight for that stretcher.
Go straight back, Amber.
Yep.
Just watch your back.
Oh, well done, Mohammed. Well done, mate.
How's your pain at the moment?
Oh, too much. 2 minutes and we'll be in a nice warm ambulance, okay? Head back, Mohammed. We're going to tape your head in place now. He's got an abrasion just there.
But Mohammed's condition is deteriorating. He's cold, and there's a real risk hypothermia could set in.
Let's get him out of cold.
Medics must assess and treat his injuries as fast as they can. Safely secured, Mohammed will now be taken to Bradford Royal Infirmary. His injuries could be life-changing. On an airfield in East Yorkshire, team leader Dave is coordinating a major search operation aimed at finding a crashed light aircraft and its 2 missing occupants.
Northwest of the airfield, which is there at 1.5 miles away. So if that's a kilometre, you're looking at 1, 2, 3k approximately. So really we're looking in that sort of area.
We spoke to a load of farmers up in that area there. There's one guy who's got 80 acres and he's been out there physically searching now. He's got all his crew out, he's got all his staff out. What we've asked for is Farm Watch to activate, so I'm hoping that Farm Watch will come out and do that for us as well. So my concern is that lights have gone out, power's gone out, he's either bank left or right. We're assuming he's on that corridor there, but he could have gone either side of that corridor.
Get the aircraft to centre on that and go from there.
So I've sent 2 of our...
Dave's going to pass the latest information on to the chopper crew.
Rescue 912, this is Heart Team Leader, over.
I'll deliver from Rescue 912, go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, I'm on a coordinating meeting now with fire and police on the ground. They've asked if we could re-look at the area of Wilfholm Landing. Police and fire have assets on the ground, but they're hampered clearly by access, over. Any wreckage will show up on thermal. You've obviously used thermal imagery. It stands out. It's very, very, very clear.
Yeah, I'm surprised that.
They'll spot rabbits from that high. So that's what concerns me, is there's no hotspots.
It's a mystery. Although the area is remote, the plane's engine should still be warm. But there's a river and a large reservoir close to where it vanished. Coast Guard ground units are joining the search.
Well, so we've got 2 guys here now, they can actually walk this. And then we can go in from the other side and walk up.
Looks like we're going.
Yeah, just get ready in your vehicle.
Are you going with them then?
Yes, we are.
Good luck.
We've got a large river, we've got a canal, we've got lots of drainage, we've got some heavy wooded areas. So it's all been split down, plus there's some sort of large open areas around the airfield as well. So we're basically identified areas of ground which the SE Rescue have not yet checked. And we've got people on the ground now looking at those areas.
It's a chilly night, and concern is growing that if the 2 people in the plane survived any impact, the cold could soon become a factor. For Hart, time is of the essence.
We're currently investigating Bassett landing to the north of that, and now we're about to then trace our steps down towards the plantation at Esk Cars.
Then there's a call from a police officer.
Just tell them to stand where they are, and I'll send some resources down to them now. He's talking to a member of the public on the opposite side of the bank who's saying there's a significant number of broken tree branches already.
075477. As you're coming down from the reservoir, the area of interest we get with broken branches, the police will put some blue lights on to indicate where the branches are broken for you.
Just
About 200-300 metres to the southeast of the Round Lake.
Let's just concentrate what we've got deployed here.
Yes.
Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to send the traffic cars. How many have we got? 2.
I've got these officers here that are 3 at the moment.
Okay, so
we get out on foot here, we can head 2 different directions.
We'll have to open that gate.
Heart paramedics James, Moggy and Martin are sent to the scene.
So we're at this location here, all right? They've asked us to search the riverbank, literally this area here.
Should we crack on then?
Yeah, can you crack on?
Yeah.
Just to make you aware, there's a lady come out on the land that wouldn't want now with search and rescue, and they've informed us that they've found the plane, and they're going to take us to show us where it is.
At last, the search is over. The plane has crashed on the edge of a wood. Hart head in to find the pilot and passenger.
Hotel 2 on scene of aircraft wreckage.
Got a rough grid. 050480. Have you stood them all down? Yeah. So injuries in incomparable life.
It's the worst possible end to a 5-hour operation.
A lot of unknown factors. A farmer or someone's come out of a farm and said that they think they've found something in their field, and when they've investigated, it is the aircraft. So it has been found, and unfortunately both occupants are deceased. So now it's pretty much crime scene. So it's my guys are just completing relevant paperwork, and they'll hand over to the police when they arrive on scene.
It seems foliage over the crash may have shielded the wreckage from the helicopter's heat-seeking cameras. For Hart, it's time to head back to base. Bravo team are heading for a village near Barnsley, and every minute counts. Reports are coming in that a man has been buried alive at the bottom of a pit.
We'll start walking down.
I think it's a man that's fallen into a hole. They're digging some sort of hole, and I think the hole's collapsed around him. It sounds like it's, well, we got on the screen that it's an ash hole, so I don't know what the ground is. I presume it's some sort of soft ground, and then a chap's gone into it and it's collapsed around him. So, sure, it might be a case of trying to dig him out of the hole at the moment.
The Yorkshire Air Ambulance is on scene. Its crew have confirmed the man is still alive.
3, 2, 1, call.
No chance.
No chance, all right.
He's at the bottom of an old pit dating back to Victorian times, and the ground is dangerously soft. Team leader Andy Warner gets up to speed on the patient.
So this chap's been down there, it's collapsed on him initially up to neck. Right. Just a brief period of loss of consciousness. They've dug him out, well, his colleagues dug him out to waist level.
So it's basically like a trench, isn't it?
It is exactly a trench.
We had one 12 months ago up in North Yorkshire. Yeah. I'd get tech rescue down, 'cause it's going to need showing up. How many's down there at the moment?
Well, the casualty and 1 firefighter. Perfect.
Right.
The firefighter is risking his own life to help the trapped man. The hole may collapse at any moment.
Tech rescue.
Wait.
Yeah, there's somebody trapped. We did West Yorkshire Fire with tech rescue as soon as possible. South Yorkshire are asking him as well. The only worry is we can't do it now, but if that goes, we've got 2 dead ends. Hole approximately 3 metres deep. They've been digging for bottles, so it's like a loose ash. So what's happened is then, as they've been in there, it's collapsed around him. He's pinned from his waist downwards in an upright position. But at the moment, it looks like it could go at any time. So we need to go around here, because if it does go again, then we've got a fireman and a patient again. Round this side.
We've done a similar type of job where someone was stuck down a trench, a workman, in a collapsed road actually, and again up to his waist. So this could be potentially very similar. At the moment, we're waiting for Tech Rescue Fire Service to come as well to see how they can help to make it safe for us to get into the patient.
The man's search for antique glass bottles has left him buried up to his waist, and in this treacherous ground, freeing him will be highly dangerous.
Was he conscious when you first dug him out?
Well, no, possibly not.
He's still alive only because of the quick thinking of his friend.
He was down the hall and he shouted to me that it seemed to be caving in and to get the ladder, and before I could pull the ladder down to him, it come in and trapped him, and then more came in and it actually disappeared from sight. So I'd got to start to digging as fast as I could to at least get his airway clear.
This has been a terrifying experience for both men, and it's not over yet.
Been in there some time now, probably an hour and a half. My concern is that it collapses further in.
I just want, everybody listen, I want minimal personnel around that edge.
Heart team leader Andy knows the hole is a death trap. Like an egg timer, any weight on the edges is forcing the loose ground down towards the centre. The man's in terrible danger. To ease the weight on this unstable ground, most of the medics must retreat to a safe spot. Andy stays in place. He's desperate to treat his patient, but knows it would put the man in further danger.
How we get done?
No, it's not moving at all.
No. Well, leave it there then. He didn't move.
But the man is stuck fast. The emergency crews are going to need a new plan, and quickly. Emergency crews are trying to rescue a man buried at the bottom of a Victorian rubbish tip.
Some water now, guys.
All efforts to pull him free have so far failed.
Can you just have a look at the gate and see if it's cuttable and if we might be able to get vehicles up here ever?
I'd rather at brand carrier and we'll take patient to ambulance, to be fair.
The medics will need to get their patient to hospital as fast as possible, but the ground is too soft for the ambulance. They're bringing the Bran carrier. First developed for the mud of the First World War, it's ideal in these conditions.
Hi, Sandy Warner. Since we've been here, there's been no movement from spoil or anything at the back. Keep trying to inch him up, but we're just taking everything slow time, mate. Fingers crossed we'll have him out, but you never know. It's just, yeah, bringing back memories, mate, this one.
There's a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, not just for the patient, but also for your crew members as well. You've got to think, we've all got families at home, wives, kids. It's so unpredictable, so you've just got to be so careful and try and mitigate them risks as soon as you can.
1, 2, 3.
His rescuers know many victims of trench collapse go into cardiac arrest when they are freed, because toxins that have built up in crushed limbs begin to circulate around the body. To avoid a deadly earth slip, the rescue team are using planks to bridge the hole and keep digging around the man.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, pull.
As they're scooping down, they're getting a little bit out, but they're not getting anywhere fast.
All efforts to pull the man out have so far failed, but the plan is to try brute force again. It's now 3 hours since the man was first buried. Once again, firefighters are trying muscle power to free him. And at last, he's free.
Keep tension on. Keep him laid down. Yeah, keep ambulance him laid down. Let's get laid down. 2, 1. Hang on. This. 3, 2, 1.
It's time for Hart to step in to assess his condition and take measures to prevent crush syndrome. It's the first chance the medics have had to examine their patient up close. They're expecting significant injuries.
Can you move your legs? Can you just shivel your legs around a bit? And how's that feel?
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Fine, I'm okay.
You might be able to walk out after this. Yeah, we'll see after a couple of minutes.
Yeah, he's all right. A little bit more stable than we usually expect, which was quite good.
Incredibly, other than a nasty cut on his head from a spade, it looks like the man has escaped his brush with death almost unscathed.
I think your mate's here.
He owes his life to his friend.
Is that the only injury I gave you?
And the emergency crews who tried everything possible to save him.
My knees are a bit.
Just put a rope with a nappy under his arms, fastened it up and just brute force really and pulled him out. He wriggled a bit with a guy down there, but great effort by the fire lads.
The man has walked away from the accident with his life. But the realisation of just how lucky he has been is beginning to dawn on him.
At the moment, no injuries. He suffers with arthritis in both knees, and he was struggling a bit with weight when we were coming down the slope, but I think he says it feels as if it's more just the arthritis playing up than anything else. All his obs seem to be okay. He's a little bit tacky, about 120, but I think he's still quite stressed about the whole thing anyway, to be honest. What have you got on underneath the ear? Have you got a pair of trousers on? No. All right, okay.
He'll be taken to hospital for a thorough assessment. Incredibly, it looks like he's escaped with minor injuries.
He's done very well to walk off after that and be reasonably cheerful. I whacked him on the head with a shovel though, because I was digging like mad to try and get his face clear.
Heart teams are trained to go where no other paramedics can. Straight into the heart of a terrorist incident.
It's an exercise when we're working with armed police officers, so when they do different types of authorised firearms operations, they have different scenarios, and so what we do, we rehearse and practice for our role within that component of that scenario.
The teams were set up after the 7/7 terrorist bombings in London,
Go forward up to 10-18.
and they train hard to save lives in every possible emergency scenario, no matter how terrifying. Today, they're training for a siege.
It also included one of the armed officers being shot, and unfortunately was fatal, and one of our own being shot and wounded.
Police, this is ambulance! Need a medic in here, quick!
There you go. So it was like a complicated one, to the extreme, but that's how we train for it, so hopefully we can get it right on the day if it ever happens.
The team are always on high alert, especially today. It's September the 11th, the anniversary of 9/11, and early reports are coming in of a potential terrorist attack in Hull. This is precisely what Heart are trained for.
Hotel 1 to all Heart call signs, just to give you some information on this detail. There's been reports that a gentleman has entered a Santander bank. We're now hearing that he has possibly stabbed somebody with a machete inside the bank and then started a fire inside the building.
Gone in and stabbed someone with a machete and set the place on fire?
Paramedics James and Paul know they could be heading into grave danger. But they're still 45 miles from Hull, and even with sirens and lights, it's a lot of ground to cover. Emergency crews are already at the scene. The attacker is running amok in Hull's busy city centre, scattering terrified onlookers. In the transport interchange, police armed with tasers and baton rounds have cornered him. With lives at risk, team leader Paul Leach needs information fast. The man may not be acting alone. There could be another suspect out there.
I do, mate, all right. So just trying to get some info.
Yeah,
Obviously,
right.
Heart team, so...
Yeah, no worries. They're holding all the stuff from Santander inside.
Inside?
Here, yeah, just in here.
In that nail
there.
shop there, right?
Yeah,
how many
so
is
we'll
that?
go and have a look. I don't know how many's there at the moment.
Right.
So
has that actually been on fire?
So there's been an incident in Barclays where there has been a fire, and they've also been in Santander.
Right.
The individuals then run across the town with a meat cleaver.
For eyewitnesses caught up in the action, it's been a terrifying experience.
Saw a guy with a meat cleaver waving a knife around, well, a meat cleaver around. I was screaming at everyone to move out of the way. Loads of people chasing after him. There was like armed response officers, standard beat cops, and civilians chasing him as well, all the way down to Paragon Street. And that's where he got detained by armed response officers. It was mad, absolute mad.
More details are emerging with every minute. The attack has all the hallmarks of a terrorist incident, and the team must be ready.
A gentleman's entered a Barclays bank. He's been throwing some petrol around. He's had a bladed weapon, demanding money. He's come straight across the way to Santander. He's done the same thing and set a light to the petrol. Quite a few scorch marks inside. He's then run off with the blade, and the police have apprehended him round the corner at Hull Transport Interchange. Thankfully, not too many patients to deal with, and everybody that has been seen by the local crews, none have gone to hospital, and it's all just sort of shock-type injuries.
Emergency crews are on high alert. The area's been cordoned off, but they can't take anything for granted.
The information we've got about the way people are sort of using terrorism now, that's always in your mind when you run into a job like this. Given that today's 9/11 or the anniversary of 9/11, you know, everybody's got a heightened awareness of what can happen. You watch the news, you watch what's happened in London, and it all fuels, you know, an incident happens and it just sort of it escalates quite quickly.
It's been a tense hour.
Thank you all for your attendance.
Police now believe the man was a lone wolf, whose motive was probably robbery. But the team know this is unlikely to be the last time they're called to deal with an armed attacker. There's relief their medical skills weren't needed today.
There's two patients. One patient is on the scaffold at the back of the house. The second patient is behind this concrete wall.
Heart paramedics know the ropes.
We can just redirect the lines through your pulleys.
Working at height is a hazard that comes with the job, but it's not without its risks.
Right, you've got to try and get into that box.
And they train hard. Tonight they must put that training into action. Charlie team are heading to a building site near Huddersfield. A roofer is in a bad way. The patient is 25 feet up at the top of a skeleton structure. Medics are going to have to get up there to treat him. Today, they don't need ropes, but Moggy and the team are going to need a cool head for heights.
Is there access up there?
Is there a paramedic up top?
There is, but I don't think she took it with her, apart from a box splint. Yeah.
Got any strong painkillers around for him?
Is that what we need? Some morphine out, please, whatever.
The patient is in extreme pain. But the roof is still under construction. The gaps are netted in case of falls, but they'll need to watch their step.
See these white lights here?
Yeah, don't step on them. See you. Whereabouts is there? Hello.
Roofer Dominic McTeague has slipped and dislocated his patella, his kneecap. But the team can't rule out other, more serious injuries.
What we'll try and do, we'll try and pop that back in. OK, trust me, we'll have your pain under control. We've done this loads of times. We get these a lot. Ask my colleague.
I'd rather you chop it off.
Well, we can't chop that off.
I know that's the sensation it is, but honestly, once I get that pain relief in...
Do that here?
Yeah. Trust me, we do this day in, day out. Yeah?
Backup is on its way.
Don't step on skylight.
But Hart must pick a careful path across to the patient.
So what were you doing then?
We're wrapping up. I'm not kidding, we'd done the hard graft and we were wrapping up.
Right.
So I just stepped into the gutter to move this panel here that you see, put on my weight up left leg and it just went boom. I heard it go crack.
Right, has it ever happened before?
Obviously not to this extent, but I had ligament damage when I was a kid. I used to play rugby a lot, so I used to lock.
Medics will now click Dominic's kneecap back into position. It should be swift, but it will be excruciating. Dominic's going to need serious pain relief.
He's got some cracking ACFs there. Right, you just straighten that arm out for me, that's it, spot on. Right, sharp scratch.
That's the least of my worries, that.
Medics are giving Dominic morphine, one of the strongest painkillers they carry.
You still feeling dizzy? Right, OK. You're just going to slow your breathing down a little.
Manny is keeping Dominic relaxed and talking while the drugs kick in. The morphine can be disorientating.
Yeah, keep going, don't stop. Keep breathing that, and just lay back. Just lay back, no, just hold your hands.
It should be quick and simple.
It's all right. Go on, big breaths. Go on. Lift it up, we're lifting it.
But something's wrong.
It's all right.
No worries, it's cool. We'll lay him laterally on his side. You can keep his leg in that natural position.
For some reason, the kneecap won't click back into place.
That's it.
The team suspect a fracture of the bones behind the kneecap.
Right.
Can you go, Matt? Come on.
My heel needs lifting up, lads.
Oh,
My
right,
heel.
look.
Just there, just there, just there.
They're going to have to take Dominic to Huddersfield Royal Infirmary, where doctors can use X-rays to determine why his kneecap won't relocate.
Does that feel like it's supporting you? All right. Now, you okay if I just give you some more general pain relief, yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
Dominic is wrapped up warmly before they try to move him out to the ambulance.
We'll get you down as best we can, all right? Okay.
Thankfully, the building site lift will save a difficult trip down to ground level.
Yeah, I'll take this side here.
But the rescue team is a lot of weight on a partially constructed roof.
You might as well go ahead because you're there.
You got it, guys. You just watch his foot. Yeah. Spot on. That should just go, yeah. Right.
Dominic's job relies on his fitness, and this injury could have a devastating effect on his livelihood. It's early afternoon, and near Wakefield, Delta team are responding to calls about a lone cyclist injured on a popular woodland trail.
I mean, if it's a motorbiker, it could be quite nasty, I suppose. They get some speed up, don't they? But I can't imagine there's anywhere round here to do it. Not that I know of.
1028 to all other flight call signs. Is anybody with the patient at the moment? Over.
Details are sketchy, and no one quite knows where the patient is.
Say they're about 200 yards or something, from 150 yards away from entrance of woods.
Cancelling all functions.
A dog walker is showing team leader Andy Warner the way, but it's well off the beaten track, and there's no way the ambulance can get close. Getting the patient out is going to be tricky.
Hey dear, how you doing, pal? Not good.
Chris Baldwin has been a firefighter for 12 years, but never thought he'd become the emergency.
Yeah, when you said you degloved it, well, like, surely not.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's caught on pedal or whatever, but it's just ragged it off.
Chris has a nasty wound. His knee is sliced open. The accident has exposed the bone inside, detaching the flesh. And it's full of dirt. He needs specialist attention soon.
This is Chris. Been coming down on his bike. Basically, he's hit something. No loss of consciousness, no other pain. But as you can see, obviously, we've got a nasty open one.
I'll take you back and wait for your dad.
Cheers, buddy. Appreciate
Hope you
that.
recover, mate.
Yeah, thanks a lot for your help, mate.
Please, yeah.
The team is keen to get Chris some pain relief. They know moving him is going to be very uncomfortable.
Get a sharp scratch, mate. Okay.
If we've got a leg splint, if you want to give one of them a shout, somebody, and ask them to maybe bring a leg splint, no, this isn't going to be enough.
Total 5, total 2.
Back at the vehicles, Matt and Paul are setting up the Bran carrier.
Hotel 2, pass your message.
Can you bring a long leg sprint, please?
Cleaning Chris's wound is not an option. That must be done by surgeons. The team can only protect it from further contamination and wait for the splint.
I'm going to lift your leg, and I'm going to keep it straight, OK, just to put a bandage round it.
So what we're doing is we've got his brand carrier with us, but it's still a bit undulating as we go down, so we're going to bring Mibs up. We're probably just going to have to go down nice and steady down to brand carrier and then take him down from there.
OK, you can relax your back down. OK?
Yeah. Do you think there's been a period of unconsciousness?
No.
You definitely remember everything? Okay.
Matt and Paul arrive with the splint. Now they can get Chris safely wrapped up and down the hill.
Hi Chris, I'm Matt. This is Paul.
I'm Paul. Hey mate, how are you?
Chris, if you're happy, I'm just going to pop your leg up and just pop it into a splint. Is that all right? Just let your leg go completely loose and me and Paul will do everything for you.
The team needs to check blood is still reaching Chris's damaged limb. If it's not, he could lose his foot.
Chris, we're not trying to tickle your feet or anything. We're just making sure that everything's still okay. A bit further down past where you've injured yourself.
Good distal pulse.
Chris, can you feel me touching you on the bottom of your foot there? Yeah. And then each of your toes. You got ticklish feet. Am I going to need to change my gloves?
There's plenty of banter between these emergency workers, but the humour masks the very real dangers facing Chris.
When you get an injury on a limb, it's quite important that you check the condition of the limb below the injury as well. Obviously we don't want to lose any tissue lower down, so it's quite important we maintain circulation. So obviously we want to check there is a pulse there, and in this case it was a really good pulse. His foot was nice and warm, he could feel us touching, so there's no sort of neurological or circulatory injury that's going on below the wound.
Chris, in a minute we're going to get you to use your big leg. Yep. We're just going to get you just to sort of shuffle your bum over onto our stretcher here. Get plenty of that gas and air on board first, and then we'll get everything done once you're happy to move.
Chris is wrapped in a foil blanket to keep him warm. He'll be strapped down securely and carried down the hill to the waiting bran carrier.
Wrapped up like a kipper in a minute.
That's nice. That's what we stop being.
Once you're wrapped up, mate, that's when we take photographs. Is that all right?
Chris's pain is getting worse.
Yes. On lift. Ready, steady, and lift.
You all right? Jesus Christ, Chris.
Just watch feet, and you've got to step under here.
Feeding you too well, Chris.
It is a joke on Green Watch. Feeding us too much.
Amazingly, one thing that doesn't seem to be damaged is Chris's sense of humour, as Warner leads them down the hill.
Just roots here, Dan. And then you've got a bit of rubble here. Just go steady on this bit, and then you're better. Nearly there, Chris.
Chris, you're doing grand, mate.
Okay.
Oh, cheers, guys.
No worries.
We're only halfway.
Hey, we're not here.
This is the fun bit. You're not far.
Well, they're going past cows
You're
now.
back on wheels now.
There's a very high risk of infection, and the team know Chris's injury could require complex surgery. So they've made plans to send him to a specialist medical unit.
He's hitting things on the trauma tree, sort of stage 3, with the mechanisms of what happened. But actually, when you look at it, there's no sort of open fractures or anything, even though that he's got a huge laceration on his leg. So we've spoke to trauma desk and arranged that he's going to go to Pinderfields rather than to major trauma centre, because they specialise in plastics as well. So we just want to get him to the right place.
Bit of a bump here, Chris, mate.
Chris isn't out of the woods yet. He faces complex surgery at Pinderfields to reattach the soft tissues of his leg. And as a firefighter, his accident could affect his career. Doctors discovered 60% of the skin on Chris's leg had been torn. He was off work for several months. An official report concluded that the 76-year-old pilot of the plane that crashed became disorientated as he tried to land. Mohammed, trapped in his crashed car, suffered 2 broken ribs and had extensive bruising. He is still in pain. The man trapped in a Victorian rubbish tip suffered damage to ligaments in his legs and a thumb injury. He's still digging for antique bottles. A 24-year-old Syrian man was charged with robbery, arson and possession of a bladed article after the incident in Hull.
1, 2, 3.
And Rufa Dominic's dislocated knee was repaired by specialists at Huddersfield Royal Infirmary. He's now taken a managerial job as a result of his accident.
Have you missed any episodes of 999 Rescue Squad? Well, don't miss out on the action. Catch up on demand when it suits you. Next, we head inside the ambulance with the West Midlands paramedics on shift on the front line.